This is Mike Rickards, and we're talking about autism. I want to come back to the question, really, of the prevalence of autism in New Jersey compared to other states, why our rates are so very, very high. Your arguments, I guess, are that we're just doing a better job at identifying it, but other people are saying that there are environmental reasons, that we are the center of so many chemical industries, that may be one of the reasons. Other people have said that New Jersey and California really have so many autistic kids because we have become so strong on the importance of vaccinations. And there's been a federal case that's just come down recently on the question of vaccinations. Leslie, talk a little bit. I know it's an issue that we could probably devote 2 other shows to.
Right. And I think sitting here, you have 3 very different opinions about what the reality is with that.
Right. And I think that, you know, what concerns me so much as an advocate is that, you know, we need to devote money and time to research. But there are so many individuals that need interventions and services, and we haven't even touched on what we need to do about adults, that I think, unfortunately, it's a very important discussion that is being vetted and reviewed throughout very prestigious colleagues. But I think we need to get to the issue of really what are we doing for the individuals that are diagnosed, for the individuals that are here. And that, to me, is more important than, you know, spending time debating something that I think they're debating already.
Yeah, and there was actually a really very nice research paper that was a review of the research in autism over the past 30 years, and its conclusions were, you know, really quite astounding, where from 1978 until 2008 there has been an uptick in research that is just astronomical. Yet most of that research has been devoted to the genetics of autism. What is the cause? If we find the cause, we'll find the cure. And this group of researchers in their conclusions really said, we need to be focusing on treatment, what is working, what programs are working, and how do we help these individuals that we have right now, and really get efficacy for what will work and what won't work.
I think both are very important. I think research, and certainly we have to worry about the children that exist today, because we'll have a virtual explosion of adults that are going to need help. Right. Having said that, I think it's also important, the research aspect is of course very important. And I think that it's very important to say that, again, it's all still in its infancy. And it's very important that nothing has really been proved or disproved yet. There needs to be research in every avenue, because most people are not satisfied with what has gone on so far.
We usually think of autism as a childhood disease, as an infant disease, as 1 to 3, 1 to 5. Right. What happens to autistic children when they become autistic adults or autistic teenagers?
We have in New Jersey, we're fortunate in the sense that Assembly Speaker Roberts put out a package of bills to really address what was happening in New Jersey in terms of interventions, making sure teachers were trained, first responders, because boy, if you, God forbid, have a fire in your house and you have a child with autism, you have to know how to get that child out of the house and safe. So there was a great package of bills that were introduced in New Jersey. One of them created a task force to look at adults with autism in New Jersey and what happens. And Michelle and I are on that task force that it's going to be presenting recommendations to the governor June 19th, I think it is. We're in the process of holding public comment hearings. But I think that is a great question, which is we have these great programs. Children on the autism spectrum have the same life expectancy as anyone else. So you're going to be an adult a lot longer than you're going to be a child with autism. And we really need to provide services and interventions, because just as you see, these moms are so passionate and will do whatever they can for their child. But what happens when they're not here? And what happens to that adult child when the sibling has either moved or gone on with their lives? We really have to be proactive and look at what we need to do. I want to jump back just for a second then in the real consequence if we don't focus on what's happening with children and the medical community. When we distract the argument and we start saying that it's most important to focus on vaccine research, and again, it's important for people, but people are not getting health insurance coverage for their children. So when we don't really deal with the fact that this child has been diagnosed and needs intervention, we stop paying for things, or we don't pay for things that are critical to the family. So aside from school issues, aside from adult issues, we're also having families mortgage their homes to pay for interventions that should be covered by private health insurance.
Let's break for a minute, and we'll be right back to discuss autism and its relationship to the adult in our lives.